Most people in life are looking for how do I remain safe when the life that we had falls away. In life, we have moments of time to be something to someone, but so many people reach out to ask for help, and the people they ask for help just don't respond. They say, "Let me check, I'll need 5 minutes to see whether or not we can help you," and they always come back and say they can't help. They lie to us about taking in information, then they lie to us about their confidentiality, then they insult us when we ask whether or not what we've given them is confidential, and openly they tell us all that we are just not good enough to help because we don't have payment, we don't have funds, and we don't have funds because liars like them violated our rights. They decided they would harm us. They decided they would take away our rights. They decided they would play with our life. They decided they would play with our phones. They decided that they would play with our time. And monstrous men play around with another human being's time. They get them locked away for a week, and we lose a week off our life. They take some religious right person and say, "Go help him, but make sure he gets nothing accomplished," so we lose another week. A woman did that to me in Westfield, lied the entire week, and then acted like she was mentally unwell by the time we were done talking. Now maybe that was the Holy Spirit smacking her around for lying about her rights in my life and stealing literally almost everything that I showed her uniquely. You see, with each person, I give them one legitimate piece of paper, piece of information that says, this is a unique information piece about my life. And it's usually with regard to a piece of paper I've written or something I've created. And isn't it interesting that every single time I give that piece of information, that one unique piece of information to only that individual, that those items are what goes missing next from my property bags? I'm looking at having to go down to the Hamilton County Court. When you go down there, they take things off your person. They make you virtually strip down to one layer of clothing. So if you're wearing in wintertime and you've got long johns on, I don't know what that means for you. But they take your chains off your wallets and they keep them. They don't allow you to put them in another bag or in a pocket. They just say, "Sorry, you can't have that," and take it. They take tools that you utilize for your own jewelry work and they keep those as if they have some legitimate right to do it, and they insist they're going to throw it away. But I highly doubt those officers throw those things away. In life, we have moments to say, "Hey, that's not fair. If you didn't want us to carry this, then you should provide for us large lockers that we can put our bags in that will be completely secure, monitored and manned by maybe a sheriff officer who will pay attention not only to who gets in and out, but will just make sure that people don't look like they're monkeying around." In life, we have moments of time to make a difference for someone, and when someone is in poverty and they have to go to court, what are they supposed to do with their bags? There's no old-fashioned key system where you put the key in, you put the item in the box, and then when you come back, you owe the thing a quarter or something. Seems like that would be a fair way to handle people who've got multiple bags because they don't live in a normal home. They may not live in a normal home because they're like me and they've been cyber-hacked, they've been lied against, they've been destroyed by the liars of the land who stole from them in the first place. And why is it that they get away with it? Why is it that those liars get away with theft, but when we report the theft, police say, "Sorry, can't help you if you don't have it on camera." So then we try and get cameras, and then they steal our cartridges out of our cameras that predicts where they will be. Not at all, it simply captures other people in the room. In life, we have moments of time to say, "I really think this is unfair," but how do you do that to a person who carries a gun and feels that they are above the law? I've been told by several that they feel they're above federal law, that they don't have to regard federal law at all, which is why they probably took my faith fob and decided not to give it back. You see, in life, we have moments of time to say, "Hey, that is my property," but how do you prove it when the receipts are gone, the receipts we have are vanishing, and openly we bought it a long time ago? There's always someone who wants to steal from someone else. They don't think about how they're losing their own crowns, their own future by doing that. They're actually losing what the Lord had planned for them because they thought that one little trinket was more important than all the gold and silver that the Lord had planned for their life. Then they wonder why they're struggling in poverty. They wonder why they're getting into trouble. They wonder exactly why their children are not right anymore. Because they violated the law. They violated the law in front of children who are impressionable, who think, "Why is mommy doing that? Why is she being so cruel? Why is she being so unkind?" And then she turns on them and does the same thing. There's a maturity for parenting that a lot of people don't have today. I get really appalled when I see people not age appropriately talking to their children. I sit there and think, did they not give you a book when you came home from the hospital of what to expect from each growing stages? The child's personality, their concept of the world, is set around 4 and 5. We know that their personalities and their communication styles sort of get put in place around 3. So if they're living in a house where there's a monster or a monstrous parent, they may be fearful of the rest of their life. If they're getting full-on love, it's good, but if they're getting overindulgence, they may think that they are queen of the castle, and they may do inappropriate things in other people's homes. Little prima donnas do things like that. I saw a woman walk into a man's house without even thinking about knocking. Now, maybe that was that family's policy, but she was bringing in a guest, and when you bring in a guest, you should change the rules a little bit, so that all guests know that they can't just walk in, so that there's an opportunity for the person who owns the house to decide whether or not they're going to extend that policy or not. In life, we have moments of time to prove who we are in the house of God, and so many people walk by a homeless person and don't think one thing. They literally think, I'm on my happy-go-lucky Sunday afternoon stroll. I'm on my happy lunch break on a Monday. I am not responsible for that person. I don't have to do one thing but just do my thing and go. And openly, it's sort of a sadness that the people of the land, the people of God, the people who legislate of God, all think they have rights to monkey in someone's life when they've gone through a struggle. They think they have the right to put their hands in their pockets. They think they have the right to put their hands in their bags. They think they have the right to trespass them. They think they have the right to take away food. They think they have the right to interfere with their lives. They think they have the right to do all sorts of things, but nobody stops and go, what would Jesus do in this moment? What would God think of me if he saw me right now doing what I'm doing to these people or to this individual? Would God be pleased with my life because I feel that I'm honoring some principle in the Bible that doesn't really exist? Or would God be displeased with my life because I'm disinheriting, I'm disproving, I'm disengaging, I'm literally destroying a human being's life? In life, we have moments of time to show who we are within the house of God, and so many people fail this because they're not paying attention to what they say, what they do, where their feet are, where their mouth is, what they should be saying, what they shouldn't be saying. They're not preparing their children ahead of schedule for events and activities, so the kids go into it running around like crazy kids with their heads cut off, but openly what that really means is that they're not participating in recognizing the quietude of a person's space. In life, we have moments of time to make a difference for someone, and I'm saying right now, it's time for those people to start making a difference in a way that's loving, kind, and not destructive. Thanks for listening.